Then you take the knife, you put it down on the plate, you shift the fork, and you take a bite.
No!
Hello! I'm Cameron from the United States.
Hi, I'm Lauren from the UK.
This feels like a very British thing.
I love it. I'm really excited. When you start your meal, that's it. You just don't let go. They're always in your hands. If you need to grab something, then you can kind of just like, I don't know, it depends. You can put them here or like gently place them somewhere, maybe like this, and then grab whatever. But most of the time you won't really need to grab anything.
Is that official etiquette? That doesn't seem right.
Why, putting it down?
No. I mean like putting it down, but do you put it down like, isn't there like a certain way that you put them down?
Well, if you put it like this, then you've finished eating.
Okay.
But if it's kind of like not perfect, then it means you're still going.
Okay, all right.
So maybe you're going to grab some food, something.
Okay, so in the US, we actually shift the knife and fork where they are. So, like the British style, you have the fork in your left hand, the knife in your right hand, you cut it, then you take the knife, you put it down on the plate, you shift the fork, and you take a bite.
No! Like this?
No. So let's say you're eating a steak.
Okay.
And you would cut it, right? And then after you cut it, you would like stab the meat.
So you cut everything at once?
No. This is a long process.
Wow.
This is the official American way. I don't know many Americans that would eat like this in day-to-day life. So with the fork face down, you stick it into the meat, you make your cut. Then, because the meat's on the fork, right, you put your knife down, you switch to your right hand, and then the prongs have to be sticking up. And then you take your bite, and then for your next bite, you switch back and do it again.
That's such a long process. Like, what is this? Just eat like this.
Yeah. That's another difference too. In the British version, you keep your prongs down.
Oh yeah, if you eat like this, it's so rude.
Well, you're not eating like this.
Well,
you just turn it over like this.
It's really rude. You have to eat and you have to put the food on top so that it's resting. It can sometimes get a bit difficult, and it may all fall, but if it falls, you just put it back and then...
Okay, so you were making a joke about American style efficiency. That also seems very inefficient.
Actually, if you can like stab the food enough and then kind of just like make your knife rest it on top well, and then you keep it steady.
Like
it's
you have a
pretty
little
easy.
shelf?
Yeah.
Like you're eating like British peas and you're like stabbing them one by one?
Peas is very difficult. You just kind of put them on top with the knife, like... On, say, mashed potato, the peas will stick very well on the mashed potato. So you just kind of like pile the peas on top of the mashed potato and they stay.
But the mashed potato has to go on top of the fork?
So say we're doing meat, steak, mashed potato and peas. The steak is first, you cut it, you scoop with your knife some mashed potato on top and then some peas on top of the mashed potato.
That doesn't seem very sophisticated. I feel like sophistication would say that you eat one thing at a time.
How are we eating peas? Like, this is just how I eat with my family. Obviously, it's not like how the Queen eats or whatever, but...
Yeah, interesting. So, fork in left hand, knife in right hand. Take the meat, stab the meat.
Stab it.
Cut it. Then, you would put your knife down, flip over your fork, and eat.
Okay. I will show an example of meat because I do not eat it. However, we will stab and cut, and then you would pick it up. Sometimes you will use your knife to kind of assist, and then eat.
That seems more efficient.
Yeah, it's quite useful. Like the knife is super helpful, especially if like, you know, you were gonna pick up something else. Like if I wanted to then pick up, pretend this was a pea or a vegetable, and then like you can just kind of add it on so that you're, or it falls off most of the time.
Like a skewer sort of thing.
You just take a lot of, or it keeps falling off. You just take a lot of things at once and then you eat a lot of things in one bite rather than just one.
And that's the official way. Just your family way.
This is how my family eats, and I think that's pretty much how everyone eats.
I would say this is the official American way. I don't eat like this.
Okay, how do you eat?
I mean, I would do it very similar to the British way, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the UK, we would take a section, cut it, and and then proceed to eat said section with adding other bits on top.
Okay, so if you're having like a steak,
Yeah, you would just
cut
cut it.
one bite at a time.
Yeah.
I would say in America, I guess some people might do it like that, but I think what often happens is like we'll cut a few bites ahead because we're going to have to like go anyway.
I mean, if you're doing all of that, then
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Because I mean, I think it would probably look bad to cut if you took a steak and just cut the entire thing. But at the same time, like if you every time had to put down and then pick this up and eat it, it would get way too aggravating, like especially if you're hungry. So you would like maybe cut off 4 or 5 bites at a time and then eat those. After you've eaten those, go back and cut again.
I feel like British people are conditioned to eat with their left hand. Not everyone, but most people will then just, cut and then eat with this hand.
But like, what if you are only using a fork?
I don't really think people just use forks in the UK. It's really weird to eat without a knife. We always have other things to eat with them. So like our mushy peas, we would do with the knife and the mushy peas.
Okay.
Usually, like if we're done, you try and place them like nicely together, like this. Or some people will place it like this, weirdly, like with the knife. I can't do it, but
That seems vulgar.
yes. So usually it's just like together at the side. Maybe in the middle, I don't know. If there's food left, then I guess you will put it at the side. If it's empty, then maybe the middle, but I have been taught to place my knife and fork at the side when I'm finished. Together.
I mean, I have seen that way, but I think generally in the US, we kind of just, I'm done. Like it's placed on the plate. I would say if it's placed like this, you're obviously finished. Whereas like maybe if you had done it something like this, it's like, hey, I gotta leave and come back.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the official way, but this would kind of, because you can't pick up the plate without the cutlery like making a big clang. Yeah, I would say when you're done, it's just put it in. But you wouldn't like, I know some types of etiquette, some rules of etiquette have you like crossing them.
To be like, no, don't take my food.
Yeah, I think that's like
okay.
literally the thing. And then like some of them are like, it depends on if the fork is up or down. This would mean that you're gonna come back, but if it's laid up, then it's like, you're done.
Yeah. So there's no like, you have to like place them nicely. It's just like you can.
I think we have that option, but it's not necessary if you can just put it on the plate.
If I did that, I would get, what are you doing? You need to place them correctly. Like, it's seen as really rude if you're just kind of like this.
Well,
especially with the noise, it's really like we have to do it very.
You don't plank them down. Like, yes, I did it, but I mean, like, you just kind of like gently place them there. I'm done with the meal. Please take my plate.
I think in restaurants, there's a lot of people around and a lot of families. People just talk about like general stuff, like the weather. No, I'm kidding. Like, I don't know. They'll just talk about each other's days and whatever. At home, possibly my family could be an exception, but we tend to have quite heated conversations about politics and all kinds of things depending on who is sat at the dinner table. No one ever shouts. Like, when I say heated, we just get very deep in depth about politics. But no one's ever shouting. It's very quiet and reserved, maybe.
Very British. I would say, I mean, in restaurants can get really noisy in the US. I mean, yeah, people laugh, people talk about anything. I mean, there have been instances of like politicians at restaurants that get overheard saying bad things because we don't, we're so much more free in our conversations at a restaurant, it might happen. At home, I think that just depends on whatever your family is like. My family dinners were rather quiet because it didn't really have much to say to my parents and likewise. I would say at home, my parents were really big on not being too rowdy at the table. Even at restaurants, my parents didn't want me to be rowdy at the table. But if I'm with like friends, I would definitely be much more louder. Much louder, yeah.
I couldn't imagine, like, it's making me really uncomfortable. Like,
Really?
being in a restaurant and being really loud. I just don't think I could do it. Like, it feels really rude because other people are eating and like there's the staff working there and I don't know, it just feels really...
I mean, I get that mindset, but like, you're in a public place. Like, what side does the rights lie on? Like, do you have the right to eat a silent meal in a
I'm
restaurant?
not talking like silent. I'm just saying like conversations at like a nice low level. So no one can hear your conversations and you're not interrupting anybody else's like meal.
Well, do you do that thing like where you, like if someone has a birthday, like you sing the birthday song? And
Yeah, like the staff will come out and sing it and whatever. And then,
Happy birthday.
no, not for that, obviously. And then other tables will actually sing happy birthday to you. And everyone in the whole restaurant will probably be like, and then everyone goes back to
And then
that.
everyone goes.
So today we talked about British and American eating etiquette.
If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.